Hello, Brian Tulsa here. What are you doing today? Today I'm at the John Hope Franklin Reconciliation Park. This was a monument dedicated in 2010 to the victims of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre, and it was named after John Hope Franklin. John Hope Franklin was born in a small Oklahoma town a bit south of Tulsa. His father, Buck Franklin, was a lawyer and helped defend African Americans after the 1921 massacre. Buck's son, John Hope Franklin, graduated from Booker T. Washington High School here in Tulsa and eventually went on to get his PhD in history from Harvard. He eventually became one of the most important American historians of the 20th century. John Hope Franklin passed away in 2009, and shortly after this park was dedicated in 2010, it was renamed the John Hope Franklin Reconciliation Park. Okay, let's go inside and take a look at it. Dr. John Hope Franklin. Dedicated October 27th, 2010. There's another plaque here to Dr. Franklin. And we've got a lovely garden here. I'm going to try to get a good angle to give it some justice here. It's a very peaceful place, and we will look at the fountain monument here momentarily, but this is just a lovely, peaceful place. Walking along this shaded path and just enjoying the tranquility here in the middle of the city. Very nice. Let's look at the fountain first and this monument. This plaque describes John Hope Franklin's accomplishments. And then we have another one over here describing the events of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre. Here you can see it is still called the Tulsa Race Riot. And that's what it was known to be for most of my lifetime. But nowadays, it's more accurately described as the Race Massacre. Many things have changed in this country, but this, unfortunately, has not changed very much. Now let's check out the Tower of Reconciliation, sculpture by Ed Dwight. And that is this work of art. The artwork circles around the entire structure. And as you can see, it escalates as we go around this way, and there are moments in history. It's a timeline. Dick Rowland was the name of the young African-American man who was going to be lynched in 1921, and the defense of him eventually sparked the massacre. There are these plaques that circle the monument with descriptions of moments in history, mostly involving the experience of black people in Oklahoma, as well as Native Americans. Here it describes the Trail of Tears. There's a lot of history here, and I like this. This isn't only a place to find peace and calm, it's also a place to learn. And it's a place to learn about a moment in history that was very nearly forgotten. In fact, a lot of people tried to make us forget it. But this is important to remember. This tells the history of our city. And it is our city. That's something that was not recognized by a lot of Tulsans at the time. For them, there was the white city and the black city. It was all Tulsa, but there was a part of Tulsa that the white population had no problem destroying and burning down. This is the Healing Walkway, and I guess we enter here. And so let's take it. Let's take the Healing Walkway. Looks like a garden labyrinth that'll just take us through the flowers and the trees. And it's a good opportunity to think and reflect as we walk along the path. I think it also symbolizes the fact that healing is a journey. It's not something that simply happens. Nor is it a straight line. Sometimes, as here, there are twists and turns, and sometimes you find yourself going back in the other direction. But with persistence, we get there.
Back from Washington, D.C. yesterday. I walked there with this.
With your flag?
With the flag. It's a different pole. I had it on an extended pole.
Yeah. But you took your flag all the way to D.C.?
Yes, sir. There were some times that I had to hop on a bus because of injury or rain or whatnot, but I walked all the way through almost Missouri.
Yeah,
before I had to hop on it. And
but you made it, though.
I made it there.
Yes.
I spent a week and a half there walking around with the flag. I walked around the Capitol building. I walked around the Supreme Court, and I walked around the White House. I probably prayed with 70% or more of the Secret Service police around the White House.
That's amazing. Can I get the other side?
Yes,
I just wanted to see the other side.
It was a true journey of trust and faith in the Lord. I may not look like it, but 23 years ago I was called to God's service, and instead I ran the other way. I had a life that made the prodigal son look like the good kid, and I turned myself into the demoniac known as Legion. I moved home to die with a couple of months left to live because of liver issues. And instead, I got a hold of by God. You know, He got a hold of me and completely changed my life. He healed me completely. My last doctor's appointment for the VA said that there was no way that I should even be alive because it was nothing less than a divine miracle. Fatty livers don't go back to normal. Enlarged livers don't go back to normal. And psoriasis does not go back to normal either.
So,
it just doesn't happen.
From the VA, so you were in the service?
Yes, sir. 9.5 years active duty as a Navy CD. 5 combat tours, a tour in Guam and a tour in Okinawa, Japan.
That's fantastic. You mind if I get your name?
Marcus McGee.
Marcus McGee. I'll risk the virus and shake your hand, all right? Yeah. That was my visit to John Hope Franklin Reconciliation Park. I think it's important that we do these kind of things, that we erect monuments, that we remember victims, but I also think it's important to keep in mind that this is not enough. It's not enough to just erect monuments. And it's not enough to just tear down monuments to the victimizers. You have to actually change. You have to actually make progress in changing the system that allowed this to happen in the first place. And sure, there has been change. There definitely has been, but the victimization still happens. As long as the victimization is still happening, then we haven't changed enough. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow.